a statement. You're going to make it, so go ahead, make it.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
There was a member of the public who came up here and he asked questions of certain council members. So I'd like to make a statement in reference to that member of the public. Is that okay with you?
I said okay.
Thank you. Well, first off, I don't speak Yiddish, so chutzpah is not the word I would use. But I would paraphrase President Clinton and say, you got some brass. Because you come to this microphone claiming that members of this council are making decisions based on politics. But you have reached out to me personally a number of times to sit down and negotiate your seat on the zoning board. That's what we call having some brass. So every time you get to that microphone, all your credibility goes straight out the window. Because it's not about government for you. It's about politics for you. That's all it's about. So let's call it what it is. Please, I'm tired of the nonsense. If you're not going to come up here and speak about good government, that's one thing. But you come up here and talk about politics when you hide behind the text messages and the phone calls to me wanting to negotiate your seat back on the zoning board? Have you made that public here tonight? Have you made that public to the press? I don't think so. Let's call it what it is, Mr. Cohen. Thank you.
Council President,
Yes, Councilman.
may I make a statement?
Sure. Everybody's entitled to make a statement.
One of the most inappropriate ways to treat a member of the public is expressing his honest opinion about a serious policy issue confronting the governing body of the city of Hoboken. Okay? Now, Mr. Cohen gave his opinion as to the impact that this litigation is having upon members of city council, but more importantly by the general public. And he has every right to do so. For you to inject conversations that he may or may not have had about his service on the zoning board is deflection, it's diversion from what he said in substance, and it's trying to shoot the messenger because you have no response to the message. And I think that needs to be noted. And you don't treat members of the public in that way for exercising their right as members of the public and as Americans to express their opinion about the impact that this litigation is having on our city. So you have the right to make a statement. I have a right to make a statement. Mr. Cohen has the right to make a statement. But you call it negotiations, text messages, phone calls. If somebody wants to serve on a board, I would hope they come to me and tell me about why they're qualified to serve on a board. They want my support. I want to have a dialogue with them. And you're trying to make it into a bad thing. A complete distraction, a complete deflection to the legitimate issues he raised, agree or disagree with them. You're deflecting those issues and engaging in personal attacks against a member of the public. And that's what I find very, very disagreeable.
I'm just pointing out facts, Councilman.
Okay.
There are no facts. None of these facts. There are no facts at all.
Council President.
Plenty of facts.
Make a statement.
Thank you. I just would like to point out to Mr. Cohen that the legal expenses that have occurred were the choice by Mayor Zimmer and the administration. This is a case that probably should have been handled in-house, and they chose to hire an outside firm to represent the city. While we didn't stand in the way of them doing that, they made that choice. This case should and probably should have been handled in-house. So actually, they're the ones spending the money. It's the administration on these legal fees, and it has nothing to do with us. And I also had conversations with Mr. Cohen, and he reached out to me, and I was happy to sit down and have a cup of coffee with him. But, you know, he did come up and try to negotiate terms, regain his seat. That conversation happened. That is true. He was a member of the zoning board. He is not looked at as just a member of the public when you have taken an oath to represent the city of Hoboken as a zoning board. A little extra applies when you're a zoning board.
How is that
I don't
relevant to his
understand.
comments?
They don't understand that.
Yeah, I know.
That doesn't make any sense. You're not making any sense,
Yeah, right.
Councilman
Council-
Occhipinti.
sense, but
He
that's-
was here. He's here making statements on behalf of the public
Right.
and himself.
Council
right?
President.
Not as a zoning board member. And as Councilman Bala said, anybody that's approached me with regards to board seats that they'd like to advocate for, obviously they need to reach out to all members of council.
More than advocating,
Right.
it was a
Council-
negotiation.
right.
Whatever, you know what? That's semantics, Councilman.
Okay.
And the politics of this council. I mean, seriously, the issue that's before us with not being able to fill this seat in accordance with the judge and the municipal vacancy law is politics on your part. And obviously, as we go into an election year,
Matter of
you're gonna spend,
Questionable.
Councilwoman Mason, you're gonna spend every dollar you have to try and get your way. You've tried to buy your way into every election
Council President, yeah.
for as long as I've been involved in politics
Because you
in
don't
this
pay
town.
your bills, Council President.
Of course I do.
Can I also make one statement?
What kind of statement is that?
In 60 days, if...
Is this your
the
statement,
zo-
Councilwoman?
If the 60 days is right for the rent control, then let's let the people decide who should fill that seat. Let's hold an election at the same time. It will cost you nothing
They'll never
extra.
do that.
Stop the lawsuit now
can't-
and agree to
It
do
can't.
that.
You know it can't be done.
Oh, absolutely
No, it
can't
cannot.
be done.
It
Guess
cannot
what?
be done, Councilwoman.
Want us to have our lawyers come up here and tell you that it can
Work
be?
on the court order. Why don't you join that with
No,
your
you
other
just want to stand
your other
behind
lawsuit?
and make a big deal of something because you don't want to let the people decide who should fill this seat.
Councilwoman, you know what I would like to know.
Democracy for you.
Council
That's not
President.
democracy.
What I'd like to know
President.
is where you were that day. I mean, you
Council
lied to the
President.
public.
I'm sorry, Council President. You and Carol Marsh disappeared on some other day.
Councilwoman, we have another deflection. It's another deflection.
Hypocrite.
All right, let's move this meeting forward,
Council
please.
President. No, I want to make
no,
a statement.
we have more comments to be made.
I need to make a statement.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you so much, Council President.
You're welcome.
Gamesmanship or chutzpah? The calculated resignation of Carol Marsh. She wanted to leave in the summer, but I am sure this administration said hang on till October 3rd so we don't have to have an election. Why? Because we want our fifth solid vote so we could get everything done that we have to get done. It wasn't about Mr. Doyle. It could have been anybody. It's that fifth vote that she needed to push her agenda forward. And what we're looking at, we're defending the democratic process and choosing the person that these people want to be represented by. That's what you're obstructing. That's the justice. And as far as Mr. Cohen, he didn't just ask to be reappointed to his seat. He wanted to make a deal for somebody else's seat. If you vote for me, then I'll assure you that this other person will get. So that's a deal. That's a negotiation. He came over to us. So his integrity needs to be in question.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Any other comments or anybody wish to make a statement?
Yes, Council President. Just have a question for Councilwoman Castellano. That's about the second time I've heard you say that Ms. Marsh was intending to leave
Yes.
this summer. You know, maybe you're closer with her than I am. I
Maybe
had
I
never
am.
ever heard that. So, can you state the evidence upon which
When
you
she would
base that
sit
assertion?
here and Council President would say, Carol, are you paying attention? Almost having to wake her up because she
What?
was not paying attention.
So uncalled
That's-
for.
So now, wow, that's
I have.
something.
I heard it.
President, when you're.
I heard it, okay? I heard it. And you could tell by her demeanor, and some of her neighbors told me that she's disgusted, she wants to leave, and we knew she was going to resign. It was just a matter
you
of...
inferred from her demeanor
Yes.
and street gossip.
You can tell when
She wanted to leave
somebody's...
this summer?
When somebody's had it on the council or anyplace else, you could tell.
And you can also tell that somehow the administration told her to stay. How
Yes.
do you know that? Is there?
I know that.
What's the evidentiary basis of that?
I know some people told me that that's the way it was. People inside your camp...
You just know it.
Excuse me, people inside your camp told me.
More gossip,
Inside
huh?
my camp. Okay.
Okay.
Can you tell me who inside my camp?
No, I will not.
versus-
I will not disclose.
It's not true.
Okay,
Thank you.
Councilman. Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Giattino or Councilman Mello, are you finished?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I am certain that I am closer to Carol Marsh than anyone sitting up here. So for you to say anything like that not only disgusts me, but I can't believe, as a member of the council, someone who sat with her, that you could imply that about her. She was not talking about it in the summer. She had never said it. And if she had talked about it, she would have told me.
Somebody from your camp told me that, and I
Okay,
have to
that's
add,
enough.
I'm
and
glad
I
that
have
you
to
listen
add,
rumors.
I have to add the night that you, Councilman, President of the Council, Cunningham, and Carol Marsh walked out of here because you didn't have the majority.
But we explained.
You were afraid
But
that
no,
you
no,
didn't
no,
have
we
the
explained.
majority that night.
We explained.
There's no explanation
Can any
that
explanation
suffices.
from you, Councilwoman?
You ask me anything
I'm
and I'll
still
tell
waiting
you.
for an explanation from Councilwoman Mason.
I was traveling for business, Council President.
That's
you
a
knew
lie.
that. You just keep
It's a
bringing
lie.
it up.
Business in
It's not a
Italy?
lie.
Lie.
Italy, okay, business in Italy.
dare
What
you
business
say
in Italy?
Sorry, public. Sorry, public.
What business was more important than the business of the city?
Sorry, public.
What business was more important than the business of the city?
It's getting interesting.
What business was more important than the business of our city?
Okay, that's enough.
I have other
That's enough.
business
What business was more important
We
than the
know
business
that
of our
there's
city?
lots of business.
at that time.
We know there's lots of monkey business
Family.
going on.
I've rarely heard
All right.
family considered business.
All right.
Family.
That's it. Councilman. Councilman Russo, please. Please.
Would you like to?
That's it.
You speak
Councilman
for
Mello,
I'm
can you
speaking for
please?
myself.
Councilman Russo, that's it.
I'm
We'll continue this after the meeting.